Так, чатик работает. Проверка звука. Раз, два, три. Так, чатик работает. Всем доброго времени суток, дорогие друзья. Всем привет-привет. Запускаем трансляцию по игре Vampyr. Продолжаем изучать вселенную Лондона с вампирами и с вурдалаками. Сегодня днем мы узнали, оказывается, что не все вампиры являются... То есть именно не иконы, а именно вампиры. Не все являются тупым скотом, грубо говоря, который готов убивать просто так. Так, выполнено. Угу. Не все являются тупыми, они, оказывается, есть умные, развитые существа, которых мне бы не очень хотелось изничтожать. Покинул убежище Шона Хэмптона. Он доказал мне, что не он убил Харриет Джонс. Перед зданием был убит еще один человек. Труп сбросили с крыши. Это, несомненно, сделал вампир. Мне надоело, что какие-то силуэты издеваются и смеются надо мной в темноте. Я хочу получить ответы прямо сейчас. Убийца, кто бы он ни был, не уйдет от меня. Так, а что у нас по... У нас 5000 очков. В принципе... Восстановление. Ну, моя задача, ребят, я стараюсь лечить людей. Ну, то есть, я не собираюсь просто уничтожать. Переутомление. Ага, то есть мигрень. Джиммил Палмер, Альберт Палмер. Переутомление. Дариус Петреску, бронхит. Кадаган Бейтс. Не помню такого, если честно. Простуда. Блин, вот запоминать бы еще всех жителей. Ладно. Так, а с тобой мы можем что-то? Я помню,
Glad
мы...
to see you again.
Did you see what happened?
No, I was coming back to the shelter from work when I heard an awful scream, and there was this man.
You saw nothing at all?
No, I told you, just that awful woman's scream.
A woman scream? Are you sure?
Of course, it was terrifying. I thought it was my sister, so I ran. But it was a man I've never seen round here before.
Опаньки. Какой-то незнакомый мужчина.
Goodbye, miss.
Но кричала женщина. Ладно. Ладно, двигаем. Что за пятно крови? Так, ладно. Нам в другую сторону вообще. Чё я бегу сюда, даже непонятно. Мартин, торговец. А что за женщина могла кричать? Ну, здесь и женщина, вот та вот бабуля, у которой крыша поехала. О, кстати. Давай-ка зайдем, апнемся чуть-чуть. Чуть-чуть зелий. Чуть-чуть зелий давайте. Жалко, этот труп нельзя никуда вынести. Что у нас лежит в убежище? Образец чистой крови. Исследуем обязательно. Угу. Улучшить мы не можем. К сожалению. Дробовик тоже. А пилу? Не можем. Хорошо, давай переработаем. Всякий хлам. И качнемся. 5000 все-таки можем себе позволить. Я думаю, что автофагию качнуть. Ярость не хочу качать. Наносит ему огромный урон. Давай увеличим запас здоровья. Еще увеличим. Урон от укуса в бою. Берем. Так, а взрыв? Тени собираются в небольшой области, после чего теневые иглы поражают все цели. Кровь поглощает вампир. Но всего лишь 30 урона. Есть ли смысл? Можем взять вот это вот. Что? Два попадания. Одно попадание. Еще за барьер взрывается. Ну, это, кстати, прикольно. Ну, это прикольно, но массовые. А это против единичной цели. По сути, здесь просто восстановление увеличивается, да? Давай-ка выносливость качнем. Хотя бы один раз. Давай-ка еще. И все вливаем в укус пока что. 1000. 1500. 1000 стоит. Ну давай, 25%, это достаточно много. Это шикарно будет. Что есть бессмертие? Христианская вера или секта? Вписать имя в историю, воспитать детей, что будут чтить нашу память, заслужить место в раю среди святых. У Шона Хэмптона, основателя убежища Хэмптона в Эстенде, было иное мнение. Вечность даруется тем, кто несет божественное начало в себе. Шон Хэмптон, которого за его несравненное сострадание к другим, за соболезнование их тяготам прозвали печальным святым, создал свою ночлежку как пристанище для заблудших душ. Для нищих здесь всегда найдется кровь и еда. Но все же Ночлежки уже несколько дней закрыты, а последние его речи уже напоминают уже что-то сектантское. Если ересь — это вера, сошедшая с пути, то Шунхэмптон и его пастор обратились в ересь. Впервые за все время, что я знаю печального святого, о нем стали дурно называться. А загадочные песни, что слышны сквозь закрытые двери приюта, скорее пугают, чем меня манят присоединиться. Разумеется, санитарная ситуация в порту существенно ухудшилась. Оставленные без крыши над головой нищие теперь заболевают ночью на улицах. Они скорее готовы заразиться и погибнуть, чем вступить в непонятный культ. Вот насколько поблекла здесь славная репутация печально. Пропавший горожанин. Обидно. Это мигающий скаль. Будет телепортироваться, да? Ну, давайте его убьем, чтобы он тогда не вопил. То вопит почем зря. Здесь... Опа. То есть мы поняли, ребят, что есть тупые скали, а есть... я даже не знаю, как правильно это объяснить. Развитые, что ли. А что это там за кровь? Ну, мы тут все собрали.
It's locked, all right.
С этой стороны не пройти. Окей, ладно. Я там видел, на мосту кто-то стоял.
Best be off home. It's one of them.
Да ладно.
Filthy fucking beast! Back in the grave!
Ах ты гаденыш. Так, а я помню это место. Мы здесь начинали. Не понял. По нам кто-то стреляет.
The power!
Напились кровушки. Прошу прощения.
We have to stop it!
Слабые ребята. Сюда нельзя зайти. Ага, видимо, вот эта квартира. Так. Ты нужен армии, запишись. Запишись. Поезд поехал.
29 Pretty Orchard Street. This is it. What's in there for me?
Для начала меня
There's
здесь
been
было.
a fight here.
По-моему, кто-то
This
выпрыгнул в
window
окно.
was shattered with violent force. Someone's been pulled through it and dragged through the street. Who could
Куда-то
have done that?
Ну что, идем по кровавому следу. Странно, тут такое место, думал, будет засада.
Where does this blood trail lead?
Ну идем по кровавому следу.
Oi, Lynch! Watch out! There's one of them vermin!
Хилимся. Я думал, я буду больше хп восстанавливать, ну, если честно.
We're being misled. Or worse, we're being baited by Legion in a nasty game.
Gun for him! I order you to step back.
Ах ты жопа.
Faith brothers!
Ох ты ж, в рот мне ноги. Еще и
The
розочку.
marks on this woman's neck were made by the fangs of a vampire.
Угу. А
This
чё?
is the very flower my mother tossed on Mary's coffin. Someone is targeting my family. Only a golden watch in her pockets.
Ну, причем мои часы.
Her shoes and clothes are quite worn out.
И какой вывод мы с этого делаем? Ты кто такое?
Right
Очередной.
then. It's a sick game. But given no choice in the matter, might as well win it.
Новое убежище или старое? Блин, мы так и не нашли ничего. Мы так и не нашли, чем не находим вообще, чем прокачивать.
It's locked.
Так, это которая ICU куда-то сюда полезла. Так, надо внимательно. Сейчас чуть не пропустил. Опять этот плачущий ребенок.
Jonathan.
What was that? I won't let you escape. You're very
Где оно?
fast, but I'll catch you.
Блин, по звуку я вроде как услышал где-то здесь.
They've all been butchered.
Куча трупов.
I can still sense a presence.
Ну, иду по кровавому следу. Да иду уже, подожди. А ты что тут делаешь? Оу, Сяо Шунь. Ты что, больная женщина?
Are you all right, Miss Shun?
My name is Xiao Shun. This is...
I do apologize, Xiao Shun.
Yes, I am. This is...
Have you recent news of Nurse Crane and her
I heard that she used to help the refugees.
You realize you can't stay here forever, don't you?
Why? Why should I go?
To be honest, I don't know.
You sound like you're no stranger to the pain I feel. Please accept my condolence.
You should go home.
No, not yet. I miss my...
Are you on your own? Do you have any friends?
I have family and friends, but
I've seen many deaths in my life.
Thank you for your sincere words, Dr. Reed.
Tell me how your husband died.
Matthew died of the Spanish flu, like so many others.
At this time, there is so little medical science can do to...
The worst thing is not his death, even if it tears me apart. The worst is not to have seen it coming, to have lost him so...
Did he hide his condition from you?
Matthew was a smiling type.
The Spanish flu may be the worst disease.
You don't understand. I didn't know he was...
As harsh as this sounds, we are all equally vulnerable.
I never said goodbye to Matthew. We...
Are you a doctor yourself? Is this...
No, I am not. But I still need to blame someone for Matthew's death. And who else, if not his wife, who did not see it?
I'm a physician. One of the best in the country. But I was unable to...
Why tell me this? Is it supposed to make...
No. But I felt I should share it.
May I ask what caused...
You could say she was also killed by a terrible disease.
Thank you for sharing that with me.
You should go...
I think you're right. Cemetery...
Thank you for your company, Xiaoshun.
Maybe I'll see you again in Whitechapel.
Goodbye for now.
Отлично.
The world has gone completely mad.
God help! Please help me!
Что с тобой?
You! What have you done?
Что она?
Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell scourge! Son of perdition!
Vicar! Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul. Returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reed.
Mary,
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Of course. You can speak.
Походу нам придется завалить сестру еще раз.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital. Cemetery to cemetery. Grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were. In front of me. On a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary, I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reed? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reed, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Time to go, Mother. Say hello to my son for
Mary,
me.
wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary. With time, we can learn to live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Yes, I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget. Puppets for our pleasure.
Какой
I've
ужас.
seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
So that's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head. One in particular, that of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal. Not for our poisonous kiss. Not even for the lies you tell yourself. No. It's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good. Abomination!
Domination.
You killed me, brother! You've burned away Nurse Crane's mind! You're a monster! Rest in peace, monster! Because you spared Sean Hampton, don't expect the same...
Закрой рот.
Well, brother, it's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
You know I will not play this game.
Calm now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
I will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
Then, at last, I can forgive you.
Ну, да, чуть-чуть даже жалко. Куда мы идем? А, мы ничего не могил.
blood. As I shed one last red tear for my fallen sister, I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
Приглашение леди Эшбери. Дорогой доктор, надеюсь, что это письмо уже у вас, ведь мне нужно как можно быстрее поговорить с вами. Ситуация в Исландии развивается стремительно. Я убеждена, что теперь всем нам грозит опасность. Стражи Привина начали в Лондоне великую охоту. Уже несколько ночей подряд они активно ищут и убивают иконов. Недавно ко мне обратился лорд Редгрейв, президент клуба Аскалон. Он желает немедленно видеть вас. Пожалуйста, приходите в мой особняк в любую ночь, когда вам будет удобно. Мы должны все это обсудить. К этому письму я прилагаю официальный пропуск, который позволит вам преодолеть все карантинные заграждения в блокпосты. Ваш друг, леди Эшбери.
The flower's dying. It needs
Когда-нибудь
water.
польем этот цветок. Я так чувствую, сейчас мы будем добывать. Так, а у нас была куча квестов, которые вот, ну, вообще. Выследить настоящего преступника. А где посмотреть доп-квесты? Два доктора. Давайте полечим врачей в нашей больнице первым делом. Нам нужно больше лекарств от образец густой крови. Нам нужно побольше от переутомления. Давай первым делом врачей. Подлечим всех.
Good evening, mister.
Evening, Doc.
Soldier,
Not really.
as long as you remain here, I will make sure you don't...
Don't think you can do much of...
Goodbye for now.
Так, это подруга на улице. Сафо. Театр Роyal. Клайд Фич представляет Дорис Флетчер Сафо. Я смотрел, это, по-моему, эротический фильм Сафо.
The daily routine.
Good evening.
I need blood, Doc.
Tell me, Thelma, Why do you feel so attached?
I'm...
Would you say you and Mr. Elwood...
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul. Even...
Do you plan to make...
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else?
I'll leave.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
I wonder why the Goswicks...
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Опа, что у тебя с глазами?
Do you need medical help yourself, Nurse?
I'm afraid I've contracted some illness.
Not under my watch, Nurse.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
Time has lost its effect on me. But the suffering continues.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of Dr.
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague...
Why do you...
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be...
If you are going to lead this surgery...
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibility.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Достойно.
Since your
Let's just...
carelessness? Exactly what?
We're here to save lives.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd...
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his...
I know we've never met before.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Прямо не могу прямо.
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I have taken the time to do so. Consider it a gesture of solidarity between professionals.
I wish this hospital could have received as much attention from you, Dr. Reed.
В смысле не часто?
Thank you.
Я только делами больницы и занимаюсь.
Good evening.
And good evening to you.
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so...
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headache.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some...
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct...
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed?
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances, and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for,
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague, but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
You have my support, Dr. Strickland. I know exactly what it feels like to battle an unknown disease with only your mind and force of will to help you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. You don't know what that means to me.
Tell me, Thoreau, what's the real...
He refuses to admit that your blood transfusion technique is the only way to save Mr. Fiddick. I'm convinced we must use it.
What Dr. Ackroyd really said is that you lack the skill to perform this operation efficiently. Is there anything you have to say about this?
It's a false conceit. Dr. Ackroyd secretly envies your reputation. His jealousy blinds him. I'm not the real target here.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on,
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
so you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Do you need my...
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you, not to be a burden.
Goodbye, Doc. I can't let Strickland put his... Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any new...
Is there anything else that's bothering?
Really? Why has no one else asked me that since I got here? I thought I was in a hospital.
Unfortunately, you are not the only person who needs help. And complaining about it won't do you any good.
Well, perhaps you're right, Dr. Reed. I'm sure if me missus was still alive, she wouldn't be happy with me going on like this.
Да-да-да.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Лечим всех.
Always knew the words to calm the children, Ellen. As for me...
Милтона надо будет дальше.
Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you require medical attention?
Do you know you're the only one who's asked me this? No.
Despite...
Well, at least your reputation seems well deserved.
Goodbye, Mrs.
Так, надо Милтона полечить. Не понял, где Милтон делся. Так, сестра, у вас тоже.
Good evening, Doc.
Do you require medical assistance, nurse?
I will be fine.
Nurse, you won't be able to help people if you're sick.
I'll try, Doctor.
Прошу прощения, ребят. Прошу прощения, ребят. Все, мы со звуком. Я только заметил, что у меня микрофон отрубился.
Goodbye, Nan.
Так, Милтон. Он куда-то в ту сторону ушел.
Only a matter of time before the Pembroke closes its doors for good.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doctor. Still...
Why do you have such a media...
Fuck them. Nobody knows the horrors I've seen since working here. This city was sick long before the epidemic.
I know it's a difficult task, but correct me if I'm wrong.
I've seen babies left to die while their brothers were properly fed. Underage girls and boys sold to all manner of perverts.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. We lack words. So excuse me if I don't look on the bright side of life.
Do you need any medical help, Milton?
I'm afraid I do. Like everyone in this hospital. It's a sad state of affairs when
Our job brings us into contact with all kinds of infections.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. I get the feeling you don't fall sick.
Goodbye.
Get over here now! It's more peaceful without the bombs, but no less dangerous.
Ты ничем не болеешь. Вот у этого простуда.
Hello again, Mr. Blight.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Are you concerned?
Of course I am. I'll be stuck here for as long as Oswald refuses to go to hospital.
What kind of violence?
I believe people have armed themselves and started to...
Do you need medical attention?
Afraid so. In the war.
Throughout history, some diseases have done more damage to armies than any...
You're working at the Pembroke Hospital, aren't you? That's a good enough reason for me and Oswald to go.
Goodbye, Mr. Blight.
Ну что, попробуем еще раз Освальда уговорить.
Good evening. Are you concerned about the...
Not really. Sick people, men in arms.
Goodbye, Mr. Thatcher.
Так, нам нужно куда-то вот туда вот. Я что-то поломал. Опять ты. Ну, давай поговорим.
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away!
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion.
I insist you...
Son, do you not see?
I had to kill Mary!
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to...
Silence!
The land calls for a champion. Or...
Silence!
Silence! Вот как этот был
these
такой,
puppet shows.
или есть такой юморист. С Ахмедом выступает. Он там постоянно Silence! Воу.
They want war. I'll show them war.
Whatever this poor woman did, nobody deserves this kind of punishment.
Согласен. С этим проще разобраться все. Блин, не думал, что буду в него стрелять. А здесь нет... А, есть выход. Пройдем здесь?
I cannot enter.
Раз, два. А если назад там нету прохода тоже. Как-то нужно обойти это все. Ах ты жопа. Лови ответ. Сейчас получишь ответочку. Типа разобрались. А как нам туда попасть? У меня такое впечатление, что я бегаю вокруг.
It's locked.
Ну, судя по всему, так и есть. Я просто бегаю вокруг. Постоянно 100-70 метров. Наверх там никак. Тут не пройти. Пробуем вернуться тогда в эту квартиру. О, что висело? Ага, ну понятно. За нашу страну, за короля вступайте в армию, бла-бла-бла. А, я мог здесь пройти. Вот мне ноги. Да ладно, я ж прицелился. Ах, ты меня бьешь?
All of you bloody leeches need killing.
Да ладно. Похилимся. А какого хэта так он на меня напал?
It's locked, all right.
Бля, с двух сторон закрыта дверь. Так, народ, я прошу прощения. Пару минут нужно отойти. Так, народ, прошу прощения, что так долго. Так, верю. Окей, всё работает. Продолжим. Ага, так мы уже возле этого, да?
So this is where she lives. What a
Ничего такое.
splendid house.
Ничего такой особняк. Согласен. Особняк Эшбери. Открывай. Открывай, сова, медведь пришел.
Dr. Reed, welcome. How are you?
As good as one can be, considering the circumstances.
Yes. Death and affliction seem prevailing themes of late. Please, come in. We have much to discuss.
I hope I haven't disturbed you.
Not at all. Actually, I was counting on you visiting me tonight.
How strange, this painting. Beautiful, melancholic, yet with a haunting dignity.
Indeed. A long time ago, a friend asked me to paint this for him, but I kept it in the end.
I did not know you were a painter, my lady.
There are many things you do not know about me, young Ekon.
Please, call me Jonathan.
Please excuse my behavior, Jonathan. I tend to tease my friends when uneasy.
What is bothering you, my lady? Your letter was quite alarming.
We will talk about this in a few minutes. For now, I would like you to tell me about yourself. How have you been since we last met, my friend?
I came to the conclusion that my maker, whoever he might be, must be a powerful vampire. Certainly extremely old.
How have you reached this conclusion?
He is the only immortal I've seen appear in an ethereal form. His voice, his words seemed ancient. It was disturbing.
I am afraid you are right. The simple fact that your blood made Mary such a strong Ekon proves that you must be of ancient lineage.
I felt this power, radiating like an aura every time he appeared.
Most ancestral vampires of England were killed by the Guard of Prewen half a century ago. I wonder who your maker could be.
You have no idea who he could be?
Some of the ancient ones fled England. Some may still be in hiding. All I know is you, my friend, are a pawn in some secret and obscure game of chess.
My sister Mary. She was made a vampire in the same way I was. She was the one killing all those people everywhere I went.
Vengeance is a powerful force for those betrayed. Made vampire through careless error. Victims by surprise.
Так и есть. Так, а подождите, я не проверил. Есть. Все окей.
I swear I did not intend that. If only I had known then how vampires are created.
That is the scientist speaking. In truth, most of us do not know how it really works. Personally, I make sure my prey will not return to haunt me.
What do you mean?
I am merciless, Jonathan. I only feed on the dying, and I make sure they are dead before leaving their remains.
In the end, she implored me to put an end to her misery. But still, I felt I had taken her life twice.
I am so sorry for my accidental cruelty. Had I known your dear Mary was still alive, I would never have sent you to pray for her soul in that church.
There is no need to apologize, my lady. Your words have been most helpful in these difficult times.
Thank you, my friend. If only we could have guided your poor sister through her terrible nightmare.
I think I should ask the questions, your ladyship. After all, it was you who invited me to settle this most urgent of matters.
Fair enough, Jonathan. The situation is critical. We do not have the luxury for etiquette.
Please do not misunderstand me. I would be delighted to discuss mundane matters and idle trivialities.
If we survive the dark nights to come, we shall have all the time in the world to speak, you and I. For now, please follow me, Jonathan.
I must say, your house is exquisite.
One of the advantages of living forever is having the time to be selective with one's furnishings. I took the liberty of having tea served.
You can still drink tea.
Can't keep it down, but I do so enjoy the aroma. Let us toast to make-believe. And of course, to your health, Jonathan.
And to yours, my lady.
Please, call me Elizabeth.
So, my lady, why truly did you invite me here?
I've been asked to deliver an official invitation to meet the Ascalon Club.
Who are they? Really?
They are the embodiment of vampire law in Britain. Some say...
Will they fight the guard of Prewen?
I doubt it. Fergal was Lord Redgrave's executioner forever and a day. By defeating that beast, you deprived them of a powerful weapon.
How many are they?
Only a small number of powerful and...
Понял.
Why use you to contact me?
Because they know we are close. The Ascalon...
Have they threatened...
Not at all. Their message surprised me at first. But it is only logical, considering the critical situation in London.
Why not ask for your help? Since you are obviously a powerful and influential immortal yourself.
You have to understand that I am invisible to the eyes of Ascalon, for I am a woman.
Не
That
понял.
suits me well, as long as they leave me alone.
Should I trust them?
Of course not. Do not misunderstand me. They can be very useful, but I believe their long-term goals differ from yours.
Should I lie to them?
We all lie, Jonathan. It falls to you to choose your behavior. The most important rule is to show them due respect.
Why meet them then?
Because nothing truly important can be achieved in this city without their consent.
Да насрать,
They could
мне
be
готовы
powerful
всё говорить.
allies in this current situation.
They have done nothing but impede my investigations since I became known to them. Why would they want to see me now?
I guess they now see you as Ascalon material. They must have found out what happened to your sister. Proof of the potent blood flowing through your veins.
I'm not sure I can accept their invitation. I have seen their handiwork. How Fergal the Beast imposed the club's law.
You have no choice, Jonathan. Even I would not openly defy Lord Redgrave, the chairman of the Ascalon Club.
How powerful is his reach?
The Ascalon Club may be the most influential secret society in England. Not all its members are immortals, but they are all very powerful.
They are not all immortals. How is that?
The club is mainly comprised of political figures who seek the safety and expansion of the Empire. The most loyal are awarded immortality.
Any
То есть они
familiar
там
or
пешки,
famous
которых...
names?
As the
Они
richest, most
пытаются...
relentless British tycoon, Aloysius Dawson is considered ideal Ascalon material and has been watched for years.
Короче, я так понял, они типа пытаются заслужить бессмертие. И неизвестно, что будет, когда они его заслужат.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
Who is he?
Lord Redgrave is the founder and chairman of the Ascalon Club. Most mortals know him as the Earl of Bristol. He is rich and extremely influential.
How old is he? How long has he been a vampire?
Lord Redgrave claims to be the progeny of William Marshall, the most valiant knight who ever lived. If that is true, he could be very old.
Have you met him?
Only on rare occasions, for he never goes outside the club. And women are not awarded membership, even immortals.
If you are convinced I must meet him, I will heed your advice.
Thank you, Jonathan. I understand your reluctance to brush shoulders with London's vampire elite. But we have no choice.
Is the situation that critical?
Yes. The Guard of Prewen has called for a second great hunt of our kind. And they will stop at nothing to eliminate us.
What is a great...
The first great hunt was launched about 75 years ago. In just a few nights, the Guard of Prewen located...
How did you survive?
I fled, Jonathan. Like most vampires.
Why start a...
Prewen has always seen us immortals.
Will the Guard of Prewen and the Ascalon Club...
I doubt it. If Prewen really launched a great hunt, I think most of the Econs I know would flee the country to escape the bloodbath.
I think I saw them kill an Econ on the way to your house. They seem to have a list with names.
To launch another great hunt, they must have collected...
Should we fight back? I will not be hunted down like an...
I admire your courage, Jonathan. But the best way to fight them is to put an end to the epidemic. This is the...
Как бы мы начнем их убивать, они начнут убивать нас. Мы начнем убивать их, это только их сплотит, и вот вампиры типа
You should
плохие,
flee
всё.
then. Leave London, the country even. I have seen the Guard in action. They are merciless.
Your concern warms my heart, Jonathan. But fear not. If the situation gets too dangerous, I shall retreat to my secret Scottish manor. I could hide you in my luggage, if you wish.
Thank you for the offer. I shall keep it in mind, but I have much to do here. There is a question I must ask you. Could Lord Redgrave be my maker?
I doubt it. If Lord Redgrave had made you his progeny, he would not have seemed so surprised when you demonstrated the strength of your lineage.
Will I ever
Maybe not, Jonathan. We know for sure you were made by a powerful vampire. But most of those fled England long ago.
Please forgive my bluntness, but...
Oh, Jonathan. I know you shall all...
You have no idea at all?
Even if I had my suspicions, I would not dare give you a name so soon. All I can say is this. I will make inquiries and keep you informed.
What is the plan?
The plan is we both try to save this city, you and I. Go to Ascalon, accept their proposition, and use their
How can...
The epidemic is the priority. You must find...
What will you do?
I still have contacts and old friends in this town. I shall make some inquiries and attempt to learn more of the situation.
Понятно.
One day soon,
And I shall help you in your research, I promise.
Will I see you again at the Pembroke Hospital?
No, you will find me here if you need me. I shall conduct inquiries alone, and we can then share our discoveries.
Okay.
When will we meet?
As soon as you meet Lord Redgrave, I suppose.
Will you not visit Pembroke again?
No. I must remain discreet and avoid...
But how will you sustain yourself?
I shall not, Jonathan. Fear not.
I want to thank you for all your support and your help, my lady.
А
Could
уже
you do me a
займитесь
last great
сексом.
favor and call me Elizabeth?
I should be honored, my lady.
Then it is settled. Finally, some good news in these dark hours.
Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I had best prepare myself to meet this Lord Redgrave now.
How thrilling to meet the Earl of Bristol in the flesh, so to speak.
Something tells me you're not very keen on the man.
Don't get me wrong. The gentlemen of the Ascalon Club are honorable, but their attitude and opinions are somewhat antiquated.
I see.
As long as they deny access to female applicants, I will leave them to their antediluvian considerations as to the natural order of things. Jonathan, promise me you'll be careful.
Of course. But why the fear in your voice?
Look at me, Jonathan.
I am.
I mean, really look at me, young Ekon.
И что это значит?
We may be deceptive by nature, but this heart of mine has always told the truth.
И что это значит?
Elizabeth.
Любовь на фоне
Go, my
лесопилки?
friend. But come back to me soon.
Мог бы выбрать и посимпатичней. Сестру, например. Ой. Убью себя по губам. Шутка, конечно, была шутка. Так, у нас там уже 4000 опыта, я не знаю, он прямо насыпает его и насыпает.
So, time to visit the Ascalon Club.
Явиться в клуб Аскалон. Какая машина красивая. Карантин. В связи с эпидемией. Входить в зону карантина или покидать ее можно только при наличии письменного разрешения местных властей. Изменить, убрать или уничтожить. Только представитель комитета, обладающий планом за нарушение, взимается штраф. Пошли в жопу. Не кашляйте в общественных местах. Берегите свое и чужое здоровье. Плюясь, чихая, кашляя, мы уже читали. А здесь карантин. Понятно.
I cannot enter.
Новое убежище. А как же мне пройти?
It's a killer! No! Bloody
Да, давай. Восстановим чуть-чуть дровяшки. Кто там? Да, ты подобрал, молодец. Хотел уже возмущаться. Так, давайте наверх заскочим, глянем, что тут было. Ну и что здесь? Куда дальше? А кто там орёт? Зайдем в этот переулочек. код. Ну, типа убили. Здоровая тварь. Так, ну к теме я пока не хочу заигрывать с теми ребятами. Нам куда-то вот туда. Beware. Будьте осторожны. Для тех, кто вдруг английский не понимает, переведу. О, кто-то кричит. Изувеченный ослепленный скаль.
It's locked.
А чё вдруг? Кто его изувечил? Кто его ослепил? Ахера там уже кричат.
This one ain't on our list. Well, that's one less anyway. It'll make McCullum happy.
That was the vampire I saw earlier. This war takes no prisoners.
Да успокойся ты.
It's on to us! Murdering bosses!
Свободны молодые люди. Откроем с этой стороны дверь. Угроза, которую представляет ихоры, какие-то уже ихоры. Из всех подлых и мерзких скалей, с которыми мне приходилось сражаться, уже всех были ихоры или икоры. Дело не в их воинских качествах, хотя они остаются сильными и опасными противниками, и не в их хитроумии. Ихоры достаточно глупы и прямолинейны в достижении своих целей. Всегда и везде распространять болезни. Ихор — это воплощение заразных заболеваний. Куда бы он ни пришел, там быстро появляется и распространяется болезнь. Он словно ходит по земле лишь для того, чтобы распространять чуму и эпидемии. Болезни будто сочатся из самой его кожи. Ихоры умные, скрытные, злобные и яростные. В бою они продолжают сражаться, даже получив много ран. Занести заразу в резервуар с водой, в зернохранилище или на банкет — вот то, что обожает Ихор. Вот то, что приносит удовольствие этому зловонному и извращенному существу. Они настолько редки, что мы ничего о них не знаем. Лентяи из братства полагают, что ихоры не вампиры и не скали, а нечто другое. Я знаю, но каждый ихор должен быть уничтожен любыми средствами сразу после обнаружения. Знай своих врагов. Карл Элдрич, лидер стражей Привена. Или Привена. Угу. Так это какой-то ихор заразу разносит. Ну, по сути, типа, как он и есть зараза, грубо говоря. Ну, насколько я понял. Так, помолчи ты, кряхтишь там так громко. Так, а там прохода нет уже, да, в ту сторону? И наверх тоже нет никак. Угу. Куда это нас ведет?
It's locked.
Никуда не ведет. Понял. Короче, есть еще какие-то ихоры. Ихоры, иконы и скали. Мы икон, типа высший. Насколько я понял. Ага, отлично. Шорткат есть. Могли бы что-то и положить мне здесь. Чтобы я такой, о,
The West End. Never have I felt so sad to be back home.
И куда это мы? Что это нам дает? Вот ты хор? Ах ты жопа. Где разговаривают? Я слышал, кто-то звал на помощь.
Filthy fucking beast!
Шварнуло. Готов. Похилимся. Здесь кто-то хорошо жил. Хочу через низ пройти. Шикарно. Шорткат открыт. Еще похилиться, что ли? Можно, в принципе.
I cannot enter. The Ascalon Club, the heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected. Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Ekons.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte.
Что-то какая-то у тебя более темная кожа, чем у мамы.
What do you think about?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town.
Yes, I was born a few streets.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother...
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you...
Is there something that's bothering you?
Too much selfishness and individualism for my...
Even if that's partly true.
I suppose you're right. But society must reform...
What are you doing?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right to vote for...
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really...
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time, even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to you?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to ice...
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to...
Have you any reason to be worried about?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... Well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should...
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you...
Понятно.
Tell me about your...
What do you want to know?
Who are your real...
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised...
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Ekon, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything.
What exactly has your mother told you?
Your name and profession, obviously. And the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir.
Does it not scare you to know what I am?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman.
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from...
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as...
Your mother is not like any other vampire.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Очи-пучи какие.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder...
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best...
She's been quite busy these last few nights.
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I
Well, I must admit, it's good to receive a warm welcome for once.
Welcome, Dr. Reed.
I may have a look at your goods.
Ну, он тоже... Опа. Но только 2. А нам нужно 3. Берем.
Good evening.
Do you have any...
Not since my pet.
Really? But you seem to be such...
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever.
London's lone gourmet.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic. And
Is it not a little too...
on the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating character.
So you prefer to...
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain...
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it.
Смелый ответ.
What can you tell me about...
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city.
I must confess, I have quite...
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals.
Finding a good restaurant?
Oh, I have many pets.
How is the situation?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to...
Are you not concerned?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the...
I'm afraid the newspapers are seriously underestimating the situation.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit?
Идиот.
Goodbye, Miss...
Where shall I eat tonight?
It's locked.
Ты чё там
Have you
орёшь?
noticed anything suspicious?
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your...
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are...
I almost didn't recognize you either. What?
When did you escape the war?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war.
I know what you mean.
Of course. With the epidemic,
Да.
How is your wife?
we've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
But you're alive. You return...
Believe me, it's not quite that simple.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
А чё ты вдруг стал посмешищем?
You need some rest, Clarence.
Давай вылечим его.
Good evening, old chap.
I won't.
Do you need med...
It's a little late for visiting hours.
What can I say? I haven't lost my old...
I hope we're talking about the same habits, old friend.
You need...
Вылечили. Листовка с предупреждением. Вы станции, объединяйтесь, не дайте себя обмануть, не давайте контролировать, ясно, за вами мечтают сожрать вашу душу. Вампиры существуют. Защищайте свой квартал. Это публичное заявление. Финансируется, распространяется мистером как Росси. Чтобы узнать больше, обратитесь к нему лично и посетите его следующую открытую лекцию. Очень интересно. Подожди, это вот который...
Good evening, old...
I won't lie.
Tell me what you have decided.
They've always been here. And if you search for long enough, you realize others know about these devils too. I'm not alone.
Tell me.
They've always...
What do you mean you're not alone?
The Guard of Prewin. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole. Ichabod Throgmorton. Those names always pop up when you dig deep enough.
Have you spoken with any of them?
No. With the quarantine, it's almost impossible to leave the West End. But as a doctor, maybe you could, Johnny.
Are you asking me to help you prove the existence of vampires, Clarence?
Yes, Johnny. Please, gather...
Have you shared your research with anybody?
No. But I've published my leaflets all across the city.
Clarence, why have you...
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already. Unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are...
Vampires in London?
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as...
Clarence, you've always been a reliable and a good friend to me. If you say you saw a vampire, then I believe you.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for your trust. You don't know what that means.
It's all right. But if you want my help, you have to explain exactly what happened.
The first time it was in Rouen. I saw an officer drink the blood of a soldier. I saw its teeth. Saw it bite. It was a vampire, Johnny, and they're here too.
Clarence, tell me about the vampire you saw in France.
I was enjoying my leave in Rouen. I left the bar. Took a shortcut back to the barracks. I saw it in a back alley. An officer in a stained uniform, biting into a soldier's neck.
Did you ever see that officer again?
No. He wore the uniform of the Royal Warwickshire Regiment. I did some research, but found no trace of him. He probably stole it from a previous victim.
But you were drunk, weren't you? Are you sure?
Please don't insult me, Johnny. I hid, and I saw him leave. Then I saw the body, drained of all blood. I've seen the same marks here in London since I've returned.
You need some rest.
Не, ну мы-то ему верим, что вампиры существуют. Было бы странно, если бы я не верил. А он, по сути, это в самом логове ходит, как еда на блюде. Ах, Кларенс, Кларенс.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Опа, а что это за трупы? Не понял.
There has been quite a battle here.
Welcome to the Ascalon.
I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
История телеклуба Аскалон. Клуб Аскалон — ассоциация джентльменов, которые стремятся втайне охранить интересы короны. Я основал этот клуб в 1837 году, чтобы отдать дань уважения своему создателю Уильяму Маршаллу, первому графу Пемброкскому. Истинному защитнику Англии все члены клуба должны быть из хороших семей и обладать безупречными моральными качествами, поскольку членами клуба могут стать смертные, которых тщательно изучают и оценивают, прежде чем предложить им бессмертие, то целью клуба является поддержание респектабельных традиций и норм поведения добропорядочного вампирского общества, а также сохранение и усиление гегемонии Англии в мире. Мы истинная элита британского общества, мы Аскалон. Копье Святого Георгия, которым этот защитник Англии убил дракона. Мы сами копьеносцы, поэтому клянемся защищать интересы империи. Закон Аскалона. Лорд Редгрейв, основатель клуба. Так вот, поняли, да? Все у них тут серьезно. А можно мне такой доспех?
It's locked, all right.
Я бы тогда всех тут вообще в труху. Как там было в ДМБ? Может, жахнем? Обязательно жахнем. Весь мир в труху. Я серьезно говорю. Коня давайте. Вот такие доспехи и... Стенд. Это я понял. Вот там кто-то пскал. Писал, наверное. Знаете, как говорят, когда писают, пис-пис-пис. Деткам, особенно маленьким, пис-пис-пис. А там кто-то был. Пис-пис-пис. Так, нам бы похилиться. Но я здесь не могу. Хороший кинжал.
It's locked.
Что за кинжал? Поглощение крови. Ну и нахрен мне поглощение крови. Да, пардон, но мы вас обнесем сначала. Я вот такой хочу меч. Я бы с такой саблей перерубил всех. Что здесь есть? Ключ от подвала клуба Эскалон. Сейчас сходим, проверим. Ладно, не будем пока идти проверять, вдруг нас по сюжету. Не хочется прямо торопить события. Здорово, ребята.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Вы орете. Напугали меня.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss.
Погнали обсуждать.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you.
А плохого не рассказывали?
Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why do you suddenly need me?
The Ascalon Club only recruits the best, and you definitely fit the bill. Your scientific and medical reputation alone would qualify you as a candidate.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its member.
Am I supposed to follow?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours. Sent to cleanse the East End of all Skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and his...
What is the Ascalon?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to...
William Marshall?
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George. Glorious...
драконы.
I agree to...
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Очищение куда
Well,
лучше.
speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Да.
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation.
Проколоть пальчик? Ну давай, так коли уже. Ты ж врач. Прям вену, ну ты что, ну что ты. Оближи после себя. О, дурында.
Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed.
Спасибо.
Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Каждую пятницу равно. Или тут... А, извините, один из нас. Что ты мне еще расскажешь?
That went well, did it not?
You have the makings of it.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a...
So why did you really want to?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right?
I'm listening, my lord. You were spying?
Not personally. I rarely leave this building.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the other.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know...
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous.
Do you know...
Not personally. But I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with...
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
Skulls are hostile vectors of contagion. That is a fact. But first and foremost, they are victims.
I agree, Dr. Reed. Most of the new Skulls who roam the streets at night used to be good British citizens. But they must be put down nevertheless.
So?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is...
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club, and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Новые горожане, которых можно убить, шикарно. Я вот только об этом я и мечтал. Убить новых горожан. Так, ну, в подвал нас не отправляют. Так что... Пардон, ребят. Придется мне... Не понял. А где подвал? Где-то же здесь были двери. Рогатый вампир, который... Что за рогатый вампир?
We are losing this fight.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's...
It's quite unsettling.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club...
May I ask who you are?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you...
Ah. Vampire senses never cease to...
Are you a member?
Yes, I am. And I have been for...
What can you tell me about?
It's not really my place to give you such information.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years...
Are you not afraid?
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the...
Is not the nature of this club a secret?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have...
So you asked for...
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries.
What can you tell me?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson? Of Dawson and Dawson?
A withering London figurehead to be...
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I...
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was...
What do you know?
I should not say this, but I admire...
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods, but they are not mine.
What is the situation like?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more if...
Money cannot solve every problem.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one...
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected.
О, какой ужас.
But that would segregate the rich from the poor, would it not?
Our only course of action must be to save England.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire?
Ой, да пошел ты в жопу, ты меня расстроил.
I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign econs. This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
Так, я нашел ключ от подвала, но я не могу найти подвал. Об употреблении крови в целях получения удовольствия. Члены Аскалона подчиняются строгим правилам. Мы добропорядочные граждане, а кое-кто из нас общественный деятель. Чтобы не утверждали наши враги, мы не получаем наслаждения от оргии и кровопролития. Если одного из нас застигнут за подобными аморальными действиями, то он подвергнется порицанию. Но как же кровь? Как быть с ее прямым назначением дарить наслаждение? Можем ли мы отказаться от экстаза, который дарит нам алая амброзия? Что еще мы можем пить за здоровье наших братьев? На этот деликатный вопрос внутренние правила клуба отвечают так. Если изначальный смертный сосуд не находится в стенах клуба, то каждый может пить столько крови, сколько захочет, и поделиться ею с друзьями. Пейте все, что хотите, разбирайтесь с сосудом так, как хотите, но только не в стенах клуба, разумеется, если только я не дам специальное разрешение в честь особого случая. Закон... Ой, какой ужас. Это мне не нравится. То есть у них типа есть разрешение убивать мирных граждан. Я этого... Мы за людей, за людишек. За этих жалких несчастных людишек. Шутка, конечно. Нет, я имею в виду, что мы будем защищать людей. Там ничего больше не нашли. На выход. Но меня заинтересовала крысина... ну, там мы уже читали. Меня заинтересовала про рогатого вампира, который ходит по городу и распевает песни. Что это за рогатый вампир такой?
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Too in this war. Women's right to vote.
Good evening.
And good evening.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this
A
district.
few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaneys, a nice family who live in a big house near the park.
Goodbye, Sharp.
She's been quite busy.
Так, а ты, друг, что
Good
слышал?
evening,
I won't lie to you, Johnny.
I'm investigating the source of the...
Infection is everywhere these days. But if you ever...
Yes? What about them?
Not enough noise for a big family with children.
Ага.
You need some...
Whether you need to buy something or not, I am happy to help.
Why are vampire hunters sniffing around here? I need to find out what they're after.
Подхилимся.
It's locked, all right.
С этой стороны невозможно. Да чтоб тебя! Бля, как больно бьет. Еще похилимся. Почти убил меня. Прошу прощения, ребят. Опять что-то я бегаю вокруг. Опа. Канализация. На выход. Я так думаю, мы сейчас найдем дом. На этом закруглимся, а то стрим уже и так долго идет. Меня просто подвесят скоро за одно. За причинное место, за то, что я так долго за компьютером сижу. Как туда попасть? 37 метров показывает.
I cannot enter.
This is despicable.
Угу. Нам надо вниз. Судя по всему, пришли мы правильно.
This woman's body has multiple lacerations. They're deep, too. Whoever did this was driven by rage.
Там кто-то есть. Орленок. Бэтмен, Ростен, Дорис Флетчер, Райл, Гарден Холл. Это брошюра какого-то выступления. Театрального представления, что ли. А мне что-то кажется, что это вот медсестра.
He had his tongue removed and his eyes gouged out. He was a victim of brutal torture.
Ребята, одну секунду, откашляюсь. Я с вами сейчас проверю звук. Я с вами... Так, со звуком все окей. Блин, ну у меня тишина вот эта вот, она меня немножко... Как-то угнетающе, скажем так. Там еще живое что-то сидит. Куда ты пошел? И что ты такое? Ты ж вампир, ты ж знаешь, что он живой.
You thought I was dead too, didn't you? No, I was just pretending. Doris told me I could have been a great actress.
You killed your family.
They mocked my talent. Ah!
Прощайте, Эльза Малани.
I've never seen such a radical mutation.
Ух ты ж, брат, мне ноги.
Could it be a new stage in the disease's evolution?
Вот это жахнуло. Это, видимо, был вот этот как раз Ихор. Или Икор. Или... Ну, не Кон. Сначала облутать все. Похилимся кровью. Так, читаем. Письмо из театральной школы Дорис Флетчер. Дорогая Эльза, я с огромной радостью сообщаю, что ты принята в мою театральную школу. Сценка, которую ты сыграл на прошлой неделе, убедила меня в том, что у тебя есть все задатки настоящей актрисы. Ум, достоинство и смелость. Я буду лично тренировать и учить тебя, приглашаю тебя пожить в школе на время этих напряженных занятий. Убеждена, что потенциал моих учеников раскрывается только в результате полного погружения. Поэтому, пожалуйста, не забудь взять ночную рубашку и все необходимое для того, чтобы провести неделю в моей школе. С уважением, Дорис Флетчер.
This girl took lessons at the famous Doris Fletcher acting school.
Не совсем понимаю. То есть этого недостаточно? Ага. Это еще не все. Окей. А, мы еще с торгашом не разговаривали.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
I'm investigating this.
Not really. Wait, now that you mention...
Thank you. It may be nothing, but I'll investigate.
They have a house in the southern part of the district, somewhere north of the railway bridge.
Опа.
There is a courtyard, if I remember rightly.
Отлично, спасибо.
Goodbye, Miss.
Women's right to vote is only the first step. Support the equality between men and women.
Подождите, в ту сторону? Не понял. Ага, вообще не в ту сторону. А, нам нужно вот сюда и направо.
That building is under quarantine. Could this be what I'm looking for?
Так. Здесь пройти невозможно. Хорошо, а стой со второй стороны. Как бы нам туда попасть? Там что-то стоит. А нет, ничего не стоит. Я ничего не понял. Такой подставы я не ожидал. А ты заманал. Нам срочно нужно качаться. И нам не хватает выносливости. Очень не хватает выносливости. Да ладно. Слушай, ты заманал уворачиваться. Отличный помповый дробовик. $350 урона. Беру. Чё, подождите, как, что я там, что-то не так поменял. А нет, все правильно поменял. Казалось. Так, похилился. Взял, капец, они, бляха-муха, твари живучие. Сейчас я им задам. Блин, ну не хочется в убежище уже возвращаться. Так, а считается, что я залутался?
What? Leave me alone with them while you go back to your hall. Fucking convenient.
She tricked me. I love you.
Fucking perfect.
Уворачиваемся. Нет, не убивай. Живем. Так, что тут у вас еще полезного спрятано? Мой дорогой, спасибо за прекрасные духи и шубу. Я мечтаю о том, чтобы твои руки поскорее обняли меня, ведь только с тобой мой герой, я ощущаю себя счастливо. Пожалуйста, возвращайся скорее. Я умираю от желания снова прижаться к твоей груди. Да, мой любимый, мой дорогой, возвращайся ко мне, и я подарю тебе ночь бесконечной неудержимой страсти. Прямо сейчас на мне только последний из твоих подарков. О, да, я сгораю от желания, мечтаю поделиться с тобой своей неукротимой страстью. Преданный тебе, Дорис.
So the husband had an affair with Doris Fletcher.
Ага, так это Дорис Флетчер всех заразила.
Doris Fletcher seems to be the missing link here. It can't just be a coincidence.
Опа.
I should go to her.
Да хули вы нападаете все вместе сразу? Блин, нам надо бегом в убежище качаться. На 15 уровне воюем против 30-го. Ну, 29-го. У нас 10 тысяч. Так и напрыгнул. Ах ты ж писюк. Да ты ж ты... Вас уничтожили. Да чтоб тебя. Слава Богу. Да тихо там будь. Так, нам надо бегом до убежища. Налево.
Over there! It's one of them vermin!
Кричишь. Угу. Правильно иду? Да. И тут как-то по прямой.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Вон там.
I cannot enter.
Да ладно! И нахер я сюда бежал?
I have this thirst for blood.
Как туда попасть? Так, а ну с этой стороны, может, как-то с этой стороны надо. Ах, хрена с два. Так, ну этих я не боюсь. Так, я отсюда прибежал.
Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Да как мне попасть в свое убежище?
This city is doomed.
Может так? Устал бегать вокруг. Слава богу. Тут дверь. Ух. Сейчас еще лапнем. Урон, все в урон. Так. Поглощать кровь нахер надо. Уменьшаем расход выносливости. Увеличиваем оглушение. Поднимаем мощь. Перезарядка. О, ничего себе. Или хим. Так вот. И сейчас качнемся. Обязательно в здоровье. Обязательно выносливость. Давай увеличим запас крови один раз. Можно было бы кровавое копье взять. Но пока не хочется. давай, раз мы уже упарываемся в это. Что случилось? По крайней мере, мы 5 уровней подняли. Ребят, 5 левелов подняли. Теперь мы будем хотя бы сражаться не на 15 уровней. Противники будут выше нас. Так, Петреску.
I could ask you. How is the sound? Terrible, to say the least.
That's quite...
Stop pretending, Mr. Doctor.
There isn't just one way to...
Your way seems to attract sorrow and despair.
I heard what happened to Nurse Crane.
Everything was going well until you arrived.
I regret it too. I wish she...
So you put an end to the operation.
You seem to have a lot on your chest, sir. What's wrong?
I heard you are a famous surgeon.
I didn't use drugs or medical trickery, Mr. Petrescu.
But what happened to her then? After you...
Tell me everything you know.
I do not believe in the afterlife.
Понятно, это мы уже слышали.
How do you feel?
I would not even accept fresh water from you.
Yes, you do. Please.
I said I don't want anything. But I'll keep...
Are you living on the...
And why not? Those who believe they'll be safe behind...
What about your...
My house is always open to any poor...
Why are you...
I remember the night you came here and convinced me to open...
Ага, ну я во всем виноват.
What do you plan to do now that...
I'm not sure. Strange men came to see me out.
What kind...
Stories all Romanian children.
You believe them? Aren't you too old?
Yes, I am old and alone and will die soon.
Goodbye, Mr.
As long as you have the money. Good evening.
You look ill.
I have no doubt it will.
Well, there you have it. Take this
Thank you.
How is the sanity?
When people buy guns instead of medication, it means they have already...
Ну все, мы все
Goodbye.
узнали. Так, а как мне дойти туда? Ага, сейчас выходим и налево. А далеко налево? Так, подожди. Ага, прямо. Тут сейчас будут...
There's one of those vermin. Christ, he's dead.
Ты шопа! Кто такой? Давай, до свидания. Маркер уберем. Кстати, блин, мы так и не посмотрели, что там было за событие.
It's locked, all right.
Никак не попасть. Пойдем попробуем. Не понимаю.
There's an open window on the second floor. I should be able to get in through that.
Шик, блеск. Предсмертная записка. Мне больше не вынести этой боли. С тех пор, как эта сука заразила меня, мое тело будто разрывается на части целыми днями. Она скрывается в комнате, указания раздает в записках, а репетирует только по ночам. Видели мы эти так называемые репетиции? Она выходит на сцену, полной ненависти, плюется от злости и ноет о своей угасающей красоте. Эта тварь больна. Она прогнила уже насквозь и собирается заразить здесь всех. А потом дойдет и до всего Лондона. Следующая премьера будет не раньше декабря. И к тому времени она весь театр обратит в послушных марионеток, которые станут орудиями ее злодеяний. Я думаю, она как-то отравила здесь воду и пищу, потому что все начали болеть после ужина, который она нам устроила в понедельник. Пусть тот, кто бы не нашел эту записку, знает, что я убиваю себя, чтобы вырваться из ада, в который она превратила наш театр. Да будь милостив ко мне Господь и простит мою грешную душу за то, что я оказываюсь способничать этой дьявольщине.
Woe to you, nations of hypocrites. For in front of you stands the tall queen. You
Can that be Doris Fletcher's voice? Where does it come from?
Блин, кровку только зря потратил. Могло бы не взрываться.
Poor Doris. I knew her well.
Нихера себе, во что она превратила?
Many can testify to her kindness and beauty. For now she hides in shadow, ugly as sin. But when you burn and die,
Ах ты что? Ой, тут еще и двое. Спасибо, очень интересная сцена. Открою двери хотя бы. Я надеюсь, они не резнутся все.
But I offer only love. Woe to you, nations of
This is despicable. It's locked.
И во что ты превратилась?
You who dared enter my realm. Are you here to worship or mock me?
I'm here to put an end to the vampire epidemic, Miss Fletcher.
Ah. But Doris Fletcher is no more. She was consumed by this putrid flesh that now enshrouds her.
You feel anger for what happened to you. But I can help you. I'm a doctor, Miss Fletcher.
Doris Fletcher is no more. All that remains are the dreams of the queen she was, and the queen she'll be. Until then, all shall die, for that was her final wish.
Да ты больная.
Arise and save your queen, my son. On guard. I smell your fear.
Да пошла ты в жопу.
Your hand. Touché, sir.
Да ёб твою.
Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of kings, once renowned.
Что это еще?
She'll be the queen again once they all share her fate.
Нихера себе, что у тебя с рукой? Женщина, что? Во-во-во, еще одну. Накосячил. Но у нее что-то, сука, явно не то. Что-то меня начали сильно часто убивать в последнее время. Я и про дробовик забыл. Да, давай заходим. Так, куда ж ты стреляешь?
Your hand. Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she whose beauty was once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate?
Слушай, это... Ух, ни, фу, какое страшное.
Wait. I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said...
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now, the threat you embody must be stopped.
Фу-фу-фу, какая страшненькая. Ребят, не забывайте фоловиться. Она сейчас сожжет театр.
Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher, the greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Все, на ночь кошмары обеспечены.
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum.
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I've put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat, you and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
Опять этот Макалей Калкин или как там.
I should probably leave the theater right now.
Что, правда?
The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
Опа, записочка. Новый дневник Дорис Флетчер. Репетиции почти завершены, и скоро снова выйду на сцену. Мои почитатели собрались вокруг меня и готовы исполнить любой мой приказ. Скоро зрители вернутся, готовые аплодировать моему мастерству. Молодые, роскошные, здоровые зрители. Они вернутся к своим семьям, в свои прекрасные дома, восхищенные моей игрой. Они будут шокированы моим обличием, они получат мое благословение. Мое заразное благословение. Один за другим они будут распространять болезнь, они будут превращаться, и я снова стану их возлюбленной королевой. И они никогда меня не простят. И я отомщу за то, что судьба так жестоко обошлась со мной. Ой, больная дура. Нам не в эту дверь явно. Там на нас кричат. Выйдем через балкон.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Нужно валим, валим. О, батек. Почему мы в нем не поговорились раньше?
So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Готовченко. Так, и куда мне сейчас идти нужно? Выбраться из театра. Клуб, что ли? Да харе орать. Я постоянно забываю, что эта тварь взрывается. Так, ребят, рассказываем лорду и закругляемся на сегодня. Стрим у нас уже идет сколько? Стрим у нас уже идет 3 с лишним часа, а мне можно сидеть за компьютером всего час. Так что, наверное, как бы мне не хотелось провести с вами еще время, надо закругляться. Вот, а уже и спина болит, и жопа болит. Ну, сидеть в смысле. А не то, о чем вы подумали. О, а какие люди? Здорово, подруга.
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear.
But it's you who insisted I join the...
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your...
Что так официально?
We'll talk...
Ага, мы поговорим позже, понял. Не хочет со мной общаться. А ты кто?
I think we're safe for now. I pursued and killed the last hunter with my own hands as he tried to escape the club. I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign econs. This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
Ага, хорошо.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
Mm-hmm.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank
Да
you.
ладно.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Econ he deserves to be.
I'm sorry, but I can't.
Are you questioning my orders?
No. It's just... I'm not sure I'm ready to have another progeny after what happened with my sister.
The rebirth of Aloysius Dawson is a necessary step in our campaign to ensure the safety of London.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go...
All right.
You invited Lady Ashbury.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to...
So it's a temporary admittance.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're...
Why Aloysius?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me.
Does he know?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed.
Did he?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it...
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many...
Is there...
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't...
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
Мне это не нравится.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius.
I see. And how do you...
I won't do it.
The real question here is, why has his lordship...
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is...
Should I refuse?
Согласен.
Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your...
As long as you lower your voice.
What would you have me do?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not...
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the...
What would happen if I made Dawson an...
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world.
Maybe I could teach him control.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
Вот вам и новость. И что теперь делать? Убить лорда Доусона?
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Women of all countries.
Так, ребят, давайте мы на этом остановимся. Огромное всем спасибо за просмотр, за компанию. Кто не зафоловился, обязательно фоллоутесь, буду вам очень признателен. И встретимся, так думаю, завтра, так же, как сегодня, в обед, что 10 в 11, ориентировочно, конечно же. Ну, лучше зафоллоутесь, чтобы знать точнее. Пока что всем огромное спасибо, спокойной ночи и до завтра.